Alright, so I was actually looking at one of the videos and looked at the door handle I took out, noticed that I left the lock in there, and I figured I would come by and see the Integra, see how it's doing, and just take these out just so that when they come to paint it, it makes it a little bit faster. They don't have to mask up that hole. So I want to take that piece out and show you what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward, but again, I want to save them the time. They haven't touched their car yet, so they're probably pretty busy, so let me go ahead and take that out.
Back up, alright?
Okay. Took this apart. I put the screws. There's a screw there and a screw here, and this bolt back in, just so a few months down the road when we put this back together, we're not searching for the screws. And these locks here, I put the clip back in, which is right there, and then taped it together just so it doesn't fall apart here. So we got these. I'll take those back to my shop. I borrowed these tools off the body shop guy, so I'll take those back, and I guess that's the update. The update is there is no update. Alright, so if there is going to be a big color reveal, it's not yet, because the car is gray with a layer of dust. That is the color. So I hope you guys like it. It looks just like the old color, but with a fine white powdery Bondo dust on it. So, oh well, that's how it goes. I can't expect everyone to drop everything and work on that car. I know it's a pretty busy shop. So I'll give it another week and we'll go back and do an update, show you what's going on. Right now, let's get back to the next thing I want to show you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series and getting some tips and ideas. Wow, that was a big surprise. Another storm coming. Alright, so this is a used turbo kit we put on a car. I actually built this kit about 15 years ago. And long story, I bought it back. I don't know why, maybe because I got a good deal on it, but it's old stuff. I mean, look at the wastegate. The wastegate is pretty old. Dump tubes on it, fuel rail, downpipe. This was an AC compatible downpipe. Again, it's stainless steel. It's all MIG. It's not MIG welded. Sorry, it's TIG welded. And again, this is 15 years ago. It's still holding up. Obviously, we can build nicer stuff now, but it's actually pretty nice for back in the day. So a full 3-inch. It's not a 2.5 that flares up. It's a full 3-inch. It's a one-piece pipe. Here's the turbo and manifold. And again, I know everyone's going to tell me go with a tubular manifold and do this and do that. You know, I'm trying to keep this somewhat on a budget. Well, again, 15 years ago, this made 400 horsepower. I don't know the deal on this. This has an end welded on, and I think this had a strap because something happened, but this was a turbo that was supplied. It's an old precision turbo, but I bought it after I tuned the car, so I know it works. I know it's not leaking, it's not smoking, it's not ball bearing, it's journal bearing, and it is actually pretty decent. It's not, you know, it's not terrible. The Integra, I'm not looking at making a ton of horsepower, but I'm also not looking at buying a new turbo because, like I've said in the past, these projects have a habit of getting away from you pretty quick. So I think what I'm going to do is take this apart and look at the manifold. It's a log manifold. It's just got our name on it. It's a manifold we used to buy back in the day. and then change it by surfacing it. We used to resurface this flange and actually change the angle slightly. Also, where the turbo mounts to it would actually change that angle, and it used to get this a little bit further away from the block so we can run air conditioning. Well, I talked to Kurt at BoostLab and I said, listen, if I bring you this old turbo, can you make it new again and possibly upgrade it, make it a little bit more modern. You know, I think I'm gonna do something with this, but possibly turn this into a ball bearing turbo. So I don't know if that means he just replaces the whole entire thing and then goes, there you go, there's your turbo. But I want to take it to him, see what he can do. I want to take this apart. These are, you know, all bolted, it's all sealed here, but I'll take it apart. I want to get him to coat this and coat the manifold and refinish this. We're going to cut this off. This thing looks ugly, and let's take it downstairs, see what it looks like. So I took this turbo apart. Everything's in good shape. It's just dirty and old. I don't remember the size on this. I think it was early precision. Well, it was definitely an early precision. I'm thinking I'm going to take this over to BoostLab and give it to Kurt and say, go ahead and check it out. Tell me what it is and see if there's any upgrades. If we can do something that'll just increase the airflow or even just the spool time. I mean, this has the old wheels. I don't know if there's a better wheel than that. I'll show it to him and get his take on it. But this is, you know, one of those steel wheels, and same as this. It's kind of heavy. There is better wheels that are lighter, and spool time is something that's important. I want to get the turbo to light off fast and make some low down power, which means it needs to spool early. Okay, so I've been cleaning on this manifold here. I got all the junk out the inside and kind of rounded off, you know, some of the entryway. I didn't go crazy with it, but it was pretty square. I'm not going to say it's going to make any power, but it's definitely not going to hurt. So I took quite a bit out of that thing. You can see in here. Anyway, basically took all the cast-in marks off it. Took the sharp turns out of it and entryways. So now I want to get this thing bead blasted and coated because it's cast iron, as you see. It rusts pretty easy. I don't intend on going with a tubular manifold. These do really well. You'd never worry about cracking. I used to sell this exact manifold 15 years ago. And again, good spool up, and it's going to make the power that we're looking for. So it hasn't rained for a month. Now it's pouring down. You can't hear me outside. So anyway, the housing, I just showed you kind of what I did here. It had a piece of 2.5 put on here and welded on. It didn't look that good. I don't remember when that was done, but maybe it was done when the turbo was first put on and we didn't catch it. So cut that off, welded a new piece on, a piece of cast, so it's thicker now. Welded that and just kind of slicked it, took some of the cast marks out. The turbo will sit like that as you look at it, but this would usually have a 2-inch outlet. This is opened up to a 2.5 now, so our charge pipe will be much cleaner. We can put a straight coupler on there. So I told you it was raining, right? So, okay, we're gonna go head out there anyway. Hey Siri, give me directions to BoostLab in Tampa.
Getting directions to BoostLab.
This is it. There's this big gigantic truck, and here is BoostLab. Hey Siri, take me to LHT Performance.
Getting directions to LHT Performance. Starting route to LHT
Alright, so
Performance.
I'm sure I could probably find my way
Make
home.
a
It's
U-turn
just
and proceed to
so
Temple
much
Terrace
easier
Highway. Then make a
if
U-turn.
I get Siri to take me there. That way I don't have to try and figure out which way to go. Alright, so I didn't film inside
Use the left lane
BoostLab,
to make a U-turn.
but let me tell you what is going on. Taking the turbo to him, he knows more about it than me. He knows, as soon as he looked at it, he goes, oh, I know exactly what that is. It's got this, it's that, it's this. It's a 60-1 basically. So first off, the turbo is a little bit oversized for what I want to do, and a quick look at it, he said, looks like the exhaust housing has been rubbing on the turbine wheel just a little bit. Not trashed it, but it has rubbed. And he goes, I don't like the look of that. It's an old journal bearing, of course. It's got the old style wheel, the old style housing. He goes, I can pull it apart and put better parts in it, but it'd be cheaper just to buy one of my turbos. He's given me a deal on a turbo. We're gonna keep my the turbine side because it fits my manifold, and I know the downpipe is going to have the best fitment for air conditioning, and he's going to basically supply everything else. He can cater the turbo to fit your needs, looks wise and horsepower wise. So I'll show you that when it's done. At least we know it's going to be right. The turbo is going to actually suit the horsepower that we want, but it'll give us a bit more sealing. He's going to put a better compressor wheel in, which will give us more power in the event that we need it. I'm only shooting for 350, and I'm not just saying that because it sounds cool. It's just a good amount of power that you can use without blowing the tires off and requiring slicks or any special, you know, traction bars or boost per gear. I just want it to be a good, fun car to drive. If you want a white GMC or Chevrolet tailgate and bed, those guys can help you out. I didn't know there was that many wrecked white trucks around with perfect tailgates and beds. So just when I thought it was plain sailing, you see it's yellow, then it goes to red. Yeah, that translates to that over there. Okay, so that was good that I took the turbo up there, because the last thing I want to do is build the motor and build the head and do all this work and put the turbo on, start tuning the car and find out the turbo lets go, because he said the exhaust wheel was a little bit sketchy and he wouldn't trust it. So if he don't trust it, I don't trust it. I trust his advice. So check out BoostLab, check him out on Instagram. Update on the block. They just sent me the invoice and said your block's ready to ship, pay this and we'll send you the block. So it was, today is Wednesday, the block shipped out yesterday. So I should have it probably end of this week, early next, so I'll show you that. I'll open it and show you around it. They surface it, they bore it, the block is fantastic. There's a handful of people making 900 wheel on that block, so I'm really excited to get that. I sent them the pistons, they're boring it to the pistons. I also paid them to wash the motor, so it should be ready for me to measure and start assembling. So when it comes in, I'll show you that and give you a good view and some details of that. I'm going to use Skunk 2 parts. I've had really good luck with their parts. I need suspension for the car. I'm talking to him about that. The intake manifold, you saw that. I'll show you some pictures of that. It was kind of like an old generic Type R style manifold that we cut open and ported back in the day. Throttle body, I don't remember what was on it, but I'll let you know when I get everything ironed out with Skunk. I'll let you know what they're doing for us, and of course give them some love. Go ahead and check them out. We use their products anyway, so of course if I have to buy them, I'm still going to buy them because I'm going to use it. So there's the update. Hope you like it. That was episode 7. Episode 8, I hope I can do the reveal of the paint. I'm trying not to tease it too much, but I don't want to make it like cool, walk in there with a camera and go, there it is, what do you think? So we'll see, but right now the paint is the same color it was when we dropped it off, so it's not that special. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned, hit the subscribe, click the bell, and people keep asking, when's another S2000 video coming out? Soon. I've got probably 5 in the can, as they say. 5 of them, 5 separate files with S2000 builds. I just felt like I saturated our channel with S2000, so I want to tease it a little bit and then bring a whole bunch back. Deal? Thanks for watching. See you next time.